Good afternoon. In this video I'd like to explain and give you an update on my workshop suspension of fork mice. As you can see here, I'll start by explaining how the jaws work. As you can see, the jaws are adjustable on these different settings here. This cutaway is up to 30mm. This second cutaway is up to 50mm, and then the third middle section here is up to 70mm. So just for demonstration purposes, I'll grab this 2-inch diameter scaffold pole made of aluminium, and that'll fit into the 50 up to 50mm size there. And I've got on here I've got what you call a deep nut, so it'll last longer than a normal nut and gives you more purchase. And just even with a simple nip of the hands, you literally really struggle to turn that. When you nip it down, give it a really good nip down tight, there's no way it'll move. And because it's aluminium jaws, it doesn't put any scratches in, or in aluminium or steel. And what I've done, I've finished it off with a medium grit blast finish, which gives it an extra grip. Seems to work better than a smooth jaw. So that's the jaws. Now the actual frame is really simple to make. It's 6mm plate, and it was 7 inches long, and I bent it over 1.5mm there in the bender. Obviously 4 10mm holes there to fashion it down to a bench. And in the front here on this bent part, there's 2 more holes, so you can screw into the front of a bench, so you can get a really good purchase. The actual swivel arm itself, it'll go vertical. I'll put that down that way. It'll go vertical. It'll do on the 45s, and it'll go horizontal. And that's made just by a simple, I'll take it out and show you. That's just a simple piece of steel tube welded to a back plate and then screwed into the back jaw. And I turn that down on my friend's big lathe to fit inside that 2-inch steel tube there into the opposite tube. It's really simple stuff, and like I say, it's just one profile weld there and a weld around the bottom, and around the very base, and that is it. It's such a simple thing to make. The adjusters are made out of 2 pieces of flat aluminium bar, and I've got some, I think they were 100mm long 8mm bolts. I just chopped the threads off and rounded the ends over, and they go through either side. And I've got 2 little eye clips there. It's one of the simplest things I've ever made. And boy, are they handy to have. So you can get 2 hands free for when you're knocking seals in onto the stanchions. And at this business end, if I loosen that, do it one-handed, take that out. On the business end, it's just a really simple block of 40 by 30mm aluminium. It's got a slot cut in that side, so that slots down over the top and then comes in behind this nut. And like I say, really simple stuff to make. And you've got the beauty of 3 different sizes in one, and over I think that's 5.5 inches. You could make it longer if you wanted to, but you can see the profile of the jaws there. Smallest, next size up, and then largest in the middle, and it works a treat. It's I wished I had one years ago. It's such a handy tool to have. So the pin itself, the locking pin, is just a 10mm silver steel rod with a piece of rubber on the end there just to locate in and just drop in, and it's pretty accurate. It's that's my homemade workshop fork vise. It's well worth having. I think the whole thing there cost me, again, about £40 to make. The actual pieces of steel tube come out of the scrap bin, and the only really part to pay money for was the aluminium 40 by 30 billet there for the jaws. The rest of it was relatively cheap. So that should be able to give you enough instruction there to make your own. And if you do manage to make one, let me know, and please share and subscribe. Everything comes in handy. Thank you all again for watching. Bye for now.